We are finally actually able to unmute now, actually understand how this works. You would think that only after a month of being off stream, I would finally understand how to work with unmuting my mic and all that, but nah, finally got that going back now. How are we doing? Gonna start off with some CK 101. I'm not allowed to call it college game day or CKL game day anymore for reasons. One, if you notice from the intro, or if you notice from what day it is, it's Wednesday, and this is mostly not going to be on game day anymore. Good evening, Bo. Hey, Lemons. Hey, Joy. All being in chat. Happy to see you guys all here now. But yeah, we're not able to really call it college game day or CKL game day because it's not on the same day as the game days anymore. I have work, so not going to be able to do that for a while. Also, I can't call it CKL game day anymore because after talking with Sandbert over at McDaniel College, over the guy who's running East Coast Racing Collegiate, we're going to be doing a lot of coverage for that league as well. So we're going to be covering both CKL and ECRC. So that's the gist of the updates that you had from on the left side here. Another thing that I'm really happy about is that I had a little bit of an intro there. The intro is still a work in progress, but want to give a quick shout out to the people who gave me clips for that. So, Waluiz, Joy, a lot of those clips are from them. Samber hooked me up with a lot of clips of different players from at his lands and his events. Shout outs to the Iona team and the Oklahoma team actually for that one stream match I had on my channel. We used footage there. The MCH captains Knox and Baja for using the interview, and from that one the seeding stream I did, let me to use that shout out I had for 6 as well. So yeah, just a bit. That's the big updates here. So here we are. A bit of a night class, I guess. College Karting 101 is gonna be the thing we do. This I woke up and just was bombarded by like 15 clips. And it's like, I don't know how many clips I'm going to use here. I already feel bad because I'm already using more than one clip from one player. But biased because Team Philippines, I guess. That's basically what I'm gonna call it now. But yeah, CK 101. This is a continuation of what CKL Game Day was. So over in the top left corner where it has the old logo of CKL, that's probably going to be changed. I got to get someone who knows how to do graphic design to get me a new logo, make me a new logo and all that. That's really the gist of it there. And then to cover both CKL and ECRC. So, because this is a good semester for a lot of college Mario Kart events. So, Syllabus Week is starting this weekend. Before that, we have the All Star Game for CKL on Friday. Beginning of February, we have ECRC, the East Coast Racing Collegiate, which a lot of the teams on the East Coast, so the Kutztowns, McDaniel, Moravian, I think that Michigan's getting involved as well. A lot of schools are on the East Coast have that league going on, but that has both FFA and 4v4v4, which I'm really excited about personally as someone who loved KOTOR League. So really excited to get into some coverage for that league as well. And then after ECRC is done, we have CKL coverage, some more 6v6 season, the spring season, which is, I think, is going to be really exciting. There's a lot of new teams, a lot of good teams as well coming out. Look at the University of Michigan, which we'll talk about when we talk about the Syllabus Week seedings. It's insane how many good players are going to be on that team, and there's some more teams all over. It's a great time to be in CKL, in college Mario Kart in general. And if you noticed on the thing as well, ooh, what does this KU moment? Oh dang. Oh dang. Yeah, I just won't. We'll talk about that, Bo. That's sad, but I understand the pain. What was I talking about? Yeah, so if you notice in the intro, there's a lot of college lands coming up in the spring. So the unannounced Cyberhound Cup 2 is going to be coming out. It's going to be under a different name, but the Moravian land is coming back in mid-March. Super Road Rage at McDaniel's coming back. I know Arizona is having their own land this March as well. The Georgia people are probably going to be doing something of their own. There's going to be a lot of college Mario Kart events that we're talking about, whether that be online through our 6v6 leagues, our 4v4s, or FFAs, or our in-person lands. And I think this is going to be a really good spring for college Mario Kart. I say this now. For those who don't know, I am not a college student at the moment anymore. I was in grad school up until January 3rd, where I made January 2nd or 3rd, where I officially withdrew. I'm taking a gap year, so one more year of content from me. Hope you guys don't mind too much. And I'm just gonna look for like internships or jobs, and then preparing for like a different program, whether that be PhD or an extensive master's program. We'll see. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about some more college Mario Kart action, some more college Mario Kart updates. So if you're noticing on the bottom over here, there's, instead of the schedule for like games, it's about what matches what leagues are signing up for. So ECRC is right now. You got the FFA season, which is starting in February 2nd. The 4v4v4 Auto Race Quads starting on the Saturday after, February 3rd. Signups are still open for that. Reach out to Sandbird if you want to get involved. I don't know if it's limited completely to the East Coast, but I know that's where most of it will be. As for the Collegiate Karting League, Syllabus Week is happening this weekend. And I'm pretty sure we extended signups just a little bit longer, which is going to be really nice to see if we get some more teams going on. We'll talk about Syllabus Week at the end, but I have ads running now. Oh yeah, for those who don't know, I hit affiliate, so I actually have ads. I didn't think I had ads anymore, or had ads at all, but hey, if I get money on this, that's cool. Fitchy, when Fitchy is not under an ad, we will start, I guess, because that's owner privilege. That's funny. You can't hear me replying to that. Okay, he's here now. Commissioner privilege. We have to wait for him. So let's talk about the All Star ad block gang. Yo, I don't know. Shoutouts to you for making it in the chat, Red Bull. Red Bull ad. Yo, I have a bottle. I wish I had a Red Bull ad sometimes right now. I have work at. I have to leave for work at 5:30 tomorrow. I'm gonna need a Red Bull, but we'll get to that eventual Red Bull sponsor. Oh, Red Bull. What's it called? Yeah, Red Bull rejected my job off application one time. I put like, oh, Red Bull Esports is like hiring, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just put all this Mario Kart stuff on here and see if they say yes. They did not say yes. They responded to me within like an hour saying no. So, yeah, no Red Bull for us today. Okay, let's talk about the All Star Game. For those who don't know, on the CKL stream, like about an hour 40 ago, a little more than that for the pre-show, we had the CKL All Star Game draft with our captain Six and Bo drafting some great teams. Let's take a look at who got drafted. Not my Discord being leaked. Ugh. Wait, where am I getting pinged? Is it a +1 for Buzz? I know I told him I couldn't play today. Oops. Yeah, sorry, OF. So, we had some picks. We had a lot of drama for the All-Star draft right before it started. First of all, short slander. That was funny. Don't leak the pick. Yeah, what picks? Totally nothing there. It reminds me, fun story. I forget which member of Buzz was it, but I was snapping Nox, and then I said, "Hey, oh, Snapchat, cool." Oh, and then I think it was Cal's first. She was like, "Oh, are you sending feet pics?" I'm like, "No, I am not sending feet pics, and no, I am not sending feet pics on here either. I'm not about to be the college Mario Kart streamer that ends up being like put in the same category as all the Twitch stuff going on right now about with all the like partial nudity and stuff." Damn it. Oh my god, Franken. Anyways, back to the draft. So, for those who don't know, Greg signed up so last second. I think I was about to start the draft, and then Greg said he wanted in. And because, maybe you could call it top player privilege, you could call it whatever you want, but I'm like, you know what? We have enough space for another two players. The thing is, I want at least two players because I want everyone to get drafted. I'm not letting someone go undrafted. So Greg getting in, that shook up the entire draft board. I had Cairo going number 1 overall, but then Greg's added, and then like, oh my god, Greg is probably the best player. No, Craig is definitely the best player there. Like, whoa, that's massive. And then Lunch Tray from Kutztown also signs up. We just needed an extra player, and I shout out to Lunch Tray for being willing to fill in. If it wasn't Lunch Tray, it'd be Wumbo. But I think Wumbo will be working stream and racing. I don't know how that's gonna work with Wumbo not changing POVs at all between races because he is playing in them. So I'm glad Lunch Tray is able to play. Start off with the Lunch Tray slander SMH. So had another wheel. We spun the wheel, best of 3. And then Six was able to secure the first overall pick, and then stuns the world after Cairo was consensus number 1 pick, and then after Greg getting signing on, I thought Greg would go number 1 maybe, but no, the Six Isaiah friendship is just too strong as Isaiah goes number 1 overall to Team 6. And that was insane. Absolute insanity. Like, nothing you could go wrong. You can't go wrong with that at all, if you're being honest. I thought Zay had a shot to be number 1. If you didn't want Zay, if you didn't want Cairo, I thought before the draft, I would have gone either Zay or Solution. Or Short, I would have probably went Zay as my number 2, actually. But Zay, number 1, I can't be mad at that whatsoever. I don't know what Bo would have done with the number 1 pick, honestly, especially with Greg getting added at the last second. I think the funniest thing was watching Greg in chat just be so disappointed when they weren't drafted number 1 overall. I thought, yeah, you could tell Greg really wanted to be number 1 overall because they seem so sad. I felt so bad for him, but it's what happens. And then Bo with his first pick, the absolute homie moment here, getting lunch tray. Oh, he would have went lunch tray number one. You know what? I can't fault you there either. You got your boy, and that's the best thing of there. Lunch tray going number two, such a moment. That like honestly, in fact, I don't know if anyone clipped it, but yeah, my reactions for like some of these picks, please go back and clip it. I'm gonna just clip it myself and use it for like future coverage of like events because this is amazing. Lunch tray going number two, I can't fault him for that. I think that was a great pick. I think it was an underrated pick. But I still think Greg being so disappointed about not going number two either was so hilarious. But then Bo answers Greg's prayers by picking him number three overall. And I think that's some of the best things you could got in here. You know what? I'm happy for Bo. Bo with the Guns Tray Greg combo. I wonder what Bo would have done if the draft was going on before one. If Guns Tray and Greg weren't added at the last second, because he just decided to pick up both of the last minute additions. But I don't know. Who knows at this point what Bo would have done? You got Cairo and then Short going 4-5 for 6, and I think those are insane picks. Cairo and Short at 4 and 5 is absolute craziness. I thought those would have gone 1-2 before Lunch Tray and Greg were added, obviously. But insane stuff, by the way. But the big thing is Short getting drafted 5. I was wondering if 6 was going to take Solution in Short and pass over Cairo, because then you would have had Buns MK together. But because of Buns MK only Short getting drafted, Bo breaks everyone's hearts by taking Solution next, number 6, and then taking my guy, Left Angle, with an absolute insane pick at number 7. Why did I get pinged in this server? Maybe I'll have to see. I'll see Sambert. Team Bo is doing squawky right now. I was about to talk about that next. Yeah, Team Bo is going in very serious with this draft by having actual practice, I guess, before this. And I think that's gonna be that's gonna be crazy. Peek into CKL Underground if we have that in the summer season. We'll see. But yeah, Angle getting picked at number 7. So happy. I love Six's reasoning for picking Lemons at 8, because of we need that track pick luck, because Lemons has insane track pick luck. It's unreal, to be quite honest with you. And having that, especially because Bo's team will be hosting, gotta negate that host advantage, and I think that's really good, really smart play from 6. And I think taking Goji, especially after, amazing. I think Goji fell quite far into draft. I thought he'd be higher, but great pick at number 9 as well. I'm really happy to see the Iona get some reps in the top 10. Speaking of reps in the top 10, I don't think I expected to see both of Moravian's players going in the top 10. I thought Angle would be a sneak into maybe like the 8, 9, 10 spots, but Baja getting number 10 had me so freaking happy. You don't even know. Baja's like one of my favorite people ever. So seeing them go number 10 overall, well deserved. And then picking up Franken at 11, that's the value there is insane. Like both these players, both the captains drafted so well this event. And like you can't really fault them at all here, because next, after I mentioned how Moravian goes top 10, I thought it was important. I think 6 thought it was incredibly important to get Isaiah as happy as possible, picking up both Obsidia and Club for their team. Like, it's absolutely crazy. What the heck is this? Oh, man. Banned. UCSDs in syllabus week? Oh, we'll talk about that next. Oh, that's hype as hell. I can mod. Yeah, you can mod for me. Let's just figure out how do I make that work. There we go. Iona just needs one more for syllabus week. Okay, what's going to happen is Iona is going to find one more player with 30 minutes to go in signups. And then Iona is going to win the entirety of syllabus week somehow. They are going to upset Michigan in the finals. And because that's just the Franken difference, as Spoon mentioned. Went to mod view and got an ad. I am so sorry. I have no idea. I didn't realize I even had an ads on for this. I am so sorry, guys. But yeah, we'll wrap up quick with the All Star stuff. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a short stream because I don't really want to go too much. I also have work tomorrow, so want to make this quick. But wrong thing. Giving me money, don't worry. You can also give me money by subbing with Prime or whatever. How was that? $5 a month. $5? You telling me you can blah 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 blah, but you can't afford $5 a month? Yeah. How does that go again? I honestly don't even remember. Yo, what? Yo, shoutouts for the bits. I actually don't even know what bits do, really, if I'm being quite honest with you, so appreciate it. Yeah, that's totally. That's obviously what all I gotta do. All I gotta do is just complain to chat and they'll give me money. That's obviously how you're supposed to do Twitch, right? Anyways, right after 6 gives out just like he tweeted the cat warrior. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's true. I remember that. That was hilarious. Being in call with Cat Warrior was all that happened. Anyways, while Fishy probably maybe does that, right after 6 drafts the Morgan State players. Thank you for the 1 bit. Oh no, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, that's a lot. Oh my god. We're gonna be here for a bit. That's gonna be here for a bit. We're gonna get words. So as that happens, Zay, 6 and Bo keep going drafting. Bo drafts both 2 more Oklahoma players. Now you're good. You're good. I appreciate it though. I guess. Gold and JWT go to Bo. In response, 6 gets mad and the short gets mad. So it's like, oh, they gotta take. I don't know. That's all you gotta do. 3-0 then drops to 17. I think that was a massive value pick for 6, especially if Creo drops like an insane number. Creo's the hottest free agent, I think, in CKL right now. The fact that they weren't picked up last season, the fact that I also missed out on picking them up, that's on me. But hoping to see Creo on a team soon. And then number 18 and 19, the Team Bo decides to get the college Mario Kart Monopoly going by getting Fitchy and Sandvert. So both CKL and ECRC are both under the umbrella of Team Bo. I don't know if Team Bo is going to be their official name. I think I saw bread on windshields, which would be a hilarious name, and I would absolutely love that for them, but we'll see if that's what they stick with. Then to round out the draft, Rumble and Coach go next to 6. Rumble, I think, being one of the steals of the draft. Shout out to Rumble, one of my favorite players now. One of my favorite pickups, honestly, from Only Friends. So I'm really happy to have Rumble in the team now. Coach, I think, could be an insane steal. Like, we don't know much about them for CKL, but I'm pretty sure they have a Mario Kart history, which we'll talk about in Syllabus Week. So I'm really excited to see Coach make the CKL team setting debut here in All Star Game. That Big Brown Boy and Rhino Bites both go to both from Oklahoma going to Team Bo. And then Atherolite from UAH rounding out the draft with probably the best Mr. Irrelevant pick ever, honestly. Ather going at 24, like that's a steal, honestly, for 6. So great draft, honestly. I think both these teams are going to be absolutely insane. I didn't actually make that final thing yet. Oops. Yeah, like, you look at shout out Canva for doing all my graphic design work. If you look at the teams, they're like crazy. 6, Coach, Goji, Klob, Isaiah, Obsidia, Don't, Rumble, Ather, Creo, Cairo, Short, Lemons. That's an insane team. Like, for 6. Like, wow. And then Bo has like an also insane team. Bo, Solution, Franken, Lunch Tray, Sandberg, Baja, Angle, That Big Brown Boy, Golden, JWT, Rhino Bites, Greg, Fitchy. You can't go wrong with either of these teams, honestly. That was just some really good drafting on both their ends. Exactly, yeah. All the players who signed up are just all insane. Like, I said in that stream before, and I haven't updated it with Greg and Lunch Tray stats, but the average score of the players who were there before, who signed up before today, we're averaging a 98 in the room. That's like, what did you do? That's just an absolute insane group. They're all stars for a reason. Yeah, I know it's all a voluntary sign up thing, but legitimately, a lot of these players here would have been all stars regardless. Like, there's very few players I can think of who are missing. I know if Spoon wasn't a catalyst, Spoon would have been in the draft, and I think Spoon would have wanted to be a captain as well. So we could have had like another team potentially, and that could have been so fun. I think my goal for next version of the All Star Game is to have 4 teams, and then you have like a little tournament, a 1-day tournament of just single elim. I think that'd be really fun to do. Hopefully we get to that point. But oh god. Oh god. Yokohama University playing CKL. I was gonna say, yeah, there's a couple of the Oklahoma players that didn't sign up. They were like 2, and they're some of your best, yeah. Oklahoma is too good, yeah. By the way, Rumble, Taika Dessa is on my list of people to recruit after this MKU, so remind me for after MKU to hit up Taika Dessa later. Yeah, thank you, Rumble. We're gonna keep saying Rumble just to get that Rumble mention going on, but like, legitimately, Taika Dessa is one of the players I was really looking at. CKL is the #1 OF feeder. Actually, it was Moravian, and then it's CKL because of Rumble. So, but yes, I'm also not. There's a third. We're making a third team again. Not going to be called Egg, but there is going to be a third team with Buzz in the future, probably. Like a good chance there's going to be a third team. So it's basically helping me build for that program to be coming up. We're just gonna call it Only Friends and then Only Friends Premium. I guess OF Plus is the second team. OF is going to be the third team. And Buzz is just somehow first team still. Completely unrelated to Only Friends. Anyways, yeah. Really good stuff from the All Star Game. I'm super excited. So be sure to tune into the CKL stream on Friday night, Friday evening, 8 o'clock EST, 5 o'clock PST. Gonna see some amazing matches for those who don't know. Also, rule set 24 race war. It's split up into quarters instead of like halves or instead of 24 races straight. Oh god, I forgot that's available now. Yeah, 24 race war, so split into 4 quarters, 6 races each quarter. You can Obviously, point total carries over. It's not like a best of 4. And then subs can happen during or after quarters. Each available player is going to play at least 6 races. No repicks, and then same normal rules like, 150cc, normal items, hard com, whatever. If I wanted to be mean, well, we would have changed it to like 200cc or something like that, and then some of these all-stars completely not understand why they're in the game anymore. Okay, let's talk about Syllabus Week now. So, I didn't... Oh, dang, okay. Okay, so, I don't know if they're probably not verified yet, but I'm excited to see that UCSD is gonna be here as well, so... Quick look at the bracket right now. Oh, ooh. Okay, University of Alabama is fully typed out. That makes sense now. Shout out to UNI, by the way, for having one of the best team names I've ever seen. The UNI Cyclist, the Unicyclist, is goated team name. Like, I thought we couldn't get much better than like what UCSD is going to be doing with like the Triton stuff, but our Peach Day Patriots. But Unicyclist is like amazing. Shout out to Wall for the idea. Oh my god, I didn't know Wall used to do that. Yeah, shout out to them. But then you got a lot of teams like who are just running with their official team, which is really cool. The Bruin Bicycles are also goats. Like, can we just is there a path for UNI? They are playing round 1. Please, okay, this has to stay. This has to stay. I don't care. I am making it so my seedings have UNI and UCLA round 1. I'm not changing this now. I was thinking you could probably put PSP over UCLA and you could make that argument, but after seeing this matchup, no, this is staying. Nothing else is changing. This has to stay. I don't care. This is staying. Anyways, take a quick look at they want to play UCLA. That's what we like to hear. I forgot who I was checking for. Cincinnati. So the couple things. Kyra under 172. Good luck. I believe in you, but good luck. There's like, I could have sworn there was one person from Cincinnati that has more experience than Pacific League, because I know I remember JK was one of those who had the PL experience, played with Raising Canes, which I do remember. Oh, that was a year ago now. Wow, it's crazy to think about. MK University is over a year old. Wow. Yeah, Josh K. I was gonna say, I saw JK8860, and I'm like, wait, JK8 from Kutztown transferred to Cincinnati? That was my first thing, and like, oh, there's another one. But no, it's a different one. And this is Coach, I think? Is this UC Coach? Because if so, I thought UC Coach was like, had like an account already. I could be wrong. But I could have sworn there was someone who played on like Generation X, or what it was. JK, your dude. That is... Yeah. He had 2? Oh. Oh, fun. Okay. So yeah, Cincinnati, I don't know if there's been updates with Cincinnati's roster to have like more players. Because if so, I would love to see Cincinnati in. I know UCSD is in. Shout out to 14. Oh, Taika Dessa with the follow. Yo, shout out Rumble. We're gonna shout out Rumble even if Taika Dessa followed, because Rumble is the connection to get Taika Dessa in here. So, remind me, Taika Dessa, at some point you are getting a trial with my team after my MKU season ends. If you're interested, not gonna force you to try out, but would love to have you as one of the friends. Rumble mentioned, yes. Yeah. Next time we're in Call Rumble, we're going to I'm going to hear someone say your name, and I'm just going to say Rumble mentioned, even if it's in the middle of a race. Next time we war. We'll do it for sure. Hold up. Tennessee has 11 already? That's insane. Okay. We'll go up from the... We already started with 8. We'll go with Tennessee now. Tennessee's one of the new teams. In fact, this is such a new team that I don't think anyone here actually has experience. Like, at all. I remember looking at their roster not too long ago, and not only did I not recognize, like, any of their names, but I'm fairly certain that all of them are, like, within this month. If not all of them, the majority. January 8th, January 9, September 29. And I looked at a lot of them in Lounge. I couldn't find anyone. So, this could be fun. This could be interesting. Tennessee's going... Renko played some 200 Lounge. Okay. That's something. I was going to say, the Morgan State-Tennessee scrim has so much, like, info I need from that. Like, I actually will need a lot of... I wonder if Isaiah's streaming it. If Zay is streaming, like, that would be absolutely amazing. So I can, like, get a look and see, like, oh. He's not streaming it, damn. They're playing right now? Okay, I need that table immediately when it drops. Whenever that table comes out, I need it immediately. 11:30? Oh, okay, I was gonna say. I remember seeing an 11:30 come up, and I'm like, if they're playing 11:30 EST, oh my god. Like, what a weird wartime, and very late for Eastern as well. Jay Guzzi, yeah, new. Mothdork, new. Danny's an ally. Okay. Renko, she plays 200. Silver 6Y. The Knights. Yeah, new. Yeah, the vast majority are probably not even eligible for MK150 Lounge yet. This will be interesting. It'll be insane. Someone get the Tennessee people in this chat immediately. Like, get me the Tennessee people to come into the stream, because I have a lot of questions. I want to ask them what their experience is and stuff like that. Because that's going to be great. Because I know that's what we did for Oklahoma, for Iona, for a lot of the new teams in Division 3 of last season. So now we get a chance to do that again with Division 2. With the new teams, new blood for CKL Syllabus Week. Really excited for that. But yeah, someone get them in chat. Like, ASAP. As we do that, let's move up to the 7 seed, UNI. I don't know if I have UNI at 7 realistically. No. I think UNI is 7-ish. If only just so they can play UCLA. I think that actually, yeah, I would have UNI at 7 just so they can play UCLA. But UNI is going to be very good. Like, this team's only getting better. Actually, I could see it. It's going to be hard, but I could see UNI beating UCLA. The fun thing is about Syllabus Week is that this is a borderline like March Madness like thing. Lemons is insane now. Yeah, I remember playing with and against Lemons, and Lemons is very good now. That's also the rough part, Lemons, but like, there's a good solid top 2. We got Archie and Lemons there. It's if they can limit Cairo, then it's in. Then they can do it. But no guarantee for that yet. By the way, guys, if you didn't know, I made it so that when right before the tournament starts, we will have bracket predictions if you have a challenge account. So you can do like predictions and all that for syllabus week, and I think that'd be really fun to do. I don't think we're just gonna have a prize or anything, but it'll be fun. And yeah, Archie, Icy, Dapper, you have a good lineup, especially because a lot of UCLA is relatively on the newer end. I think you have Cairo, you have Joy, you have other players like Yakuza Guts as well. But I think the big strength that UNI has is they have a lot more of that depth and the more team play. Like, Cairo could realistically go for a 160, 170. That might actually happen. It's no guarantee, but it's possible. But you can't guarantee. But even if there's that, if the other team is, if their teammates dropping like 30s, 50s, there's no guarantee they win. It's gonna be closer than people think. I feel, but UNI UCLA could be an upset, especially with how good UNI has gotten lately. And I think UNI is a sleeper pick to move up a division, especially with teams like, I don't know if Virginia Tech comes back. McDaniel is in a very weird spot. Moravian is teetering on eligibility and availability for some of their players. And then it's coming down to, like, I know Iona's moving up, Oklahoma's moving up. I think UNI has a very realistic shot to move up. So, especially with the way they're playing, if syllabus week ends up becoming really good for them, I could see something amazing here. There's some good things coming out of UNI. Who's next? 6 seed, OU. We're gonna get rid of Academy now because they finally have ownership of OU here. I know it's a lot of things within their own esports program, but Oklahoma is going to be so scary. Like, I think my upset pick is actually Oklahoma over Peach State. If I remember right, I don't know how focused, the real OU is here finally, yeah. Like, I don't know how focused some of the Peach State players are going to be with them being at Catalyst, the big LAN in Florida. So, if Oklahoma catches PSP on a rough day, I think Oklahoma pulls it off. It's not a high chance, but this I think is the upset alert of the first round, just because of just a lot of circumstances here. Like, you have to consider that Peach State a lot of them are focused on the LAN experience right now. And I'm also biased for Oklahoma because of Rumble. Because Rumble is like one of my favorite people ever now. Another Rumble mention. Like, and because, like, yeah, I'm an Oklahoma fan now. So, looking at, yeah, like, legitimately, I actually think Oklahoma can pull this off. I don't know if they will. I won't guarantee it. But there's no Bean anymore on Peach State. The top player from PSP is gone. It's Spoon who's doing the load. And Spoon is freaking amazing. Spoon is such a good player. But Oklahoma has always excelled in depth. No matter who you put out in that 6, it's a good lineup. Obviously, it's a better lineup with Rumble, but OU has a really good team, a really solid team. In fact, like, this is the upset, I think, of the week. I don't, like as mentioned before, I don't know if it happens, but I wouldn't be surprised if we come back to this and Oklahoma is in top 4 of semis. Morgan minus 28 to PSP just now. Ooh. Were the results posted, like, anywhere, or... I'll come back to that, like, ASAP. Yeah, scrim results. Yeah, CKL server. Are we at that point yet? We'll talk about Morgan next. I know Bama is technically next, but I want to talk about Morgan real quick. I gotta clean up my servers at some point. Oh my god. Okay, this is interesting. Obsidian Club showing why they're all-stars. What the hell happened at the bottom of the table for Morgan? Oh my god. But yeah, like I mentioned before, PSP is good. Like, Peach State is still very good, but do they have the depth now? Like, I think it's a lot closer than it would be if they still had Bean. Like, Spoon's still great, but you catch Spoon on a rough day or an off day, and I think Oklahoma could pull it off. Meanwhile, for Morgan, Alabama is deceptively close. Alabama, I think, won both matches. I don't remember who won both matches, if they played both, I'm pretty sure. But I think they might have split the series, and then, because Jay, I know, played one, and Alabama destroyed Morgan. So it's really coming down to, does Alabama play? Which if they do, hoping they do, Solution is great. This is a community that loves Jay. But who's also a new staff member. Really happy to see that. And Solution has gotten insanely good really quickly. I think they're evenly matched. It's just who has the better second option. I think Morgan's more battle ready right now, which is going to be what helps them out. The scary thing is, seeding wise, I really like the seedings we have right now. The hard thing is that I feel like 4, 5, 6 are really close together. Okay, were there 6 players on both sides for both matches? I know Bama historically has had issues gathering. So if, like, I don't know if in the first match Alabama had all 6. But we'll see. But I'll have to, like, look at that myself. Of course, yeah. It's closer than I think. Score 33. You know what? That's sadly not the lowest score in CKL last season, I'm pretty sure. Not gonna name names, but I'm pretty sure a player in D2 did drop like a 29 in a match. It's close. This one's close. If Alabama gets 6, I think they win. It's going to come down to, like, the Solution against Isaiah matchup. But it also comes down to who does Alabama have. If Alabama has Jay playing, Jay is great. And there's some other really good players on Alabama aside from Solution. So I'd be interested to see if that's what shakes up there, but you know what? Maybe I'll go Morgan here. I think Morgan is more consistent. You have Isaiah, who's always throwing up insane numbers. And then you have Klob and Obsidian who are playing well. We had a 12. Oh, yeah, that is true. We did have a 12. Forgot about that. So, yeah, I'll go Morgan.
This will be close though. Morgan, Alabama, I think is a toss-up. And then we can find. Okay, who did I have here? I think I'll have. If Cincinnati gathers, yeah, UCSD. But where would UCSD be? Louise is great. I have to check out who was on the UCSD team. So I can't remember. UCSD also has Super FX, I think. I don't know if Super FX is going to be active, but I'm pretty sure that's the school they represent. Coach is doing a Mogi right now. Do you know, wonder that's actually helpful. Yeah, the results of that Mogi will determine whether or not Cincinnati beats Tennessee. Assuming that's the Iron one. Okay. Okay. Dang, I can't check that chat then. I'm sad. Not like I'm very good at the game still. I haven't lounged since last season. I haven't tried the new update yet, but I heard it looks like something that'd be much better than what we had before. Okay, let's talk about Michigan now. Because, oh my, Michigan. Has the 8th player, like, actually gotten... like, when is the 8th player getting added? I remember, I think Short was mentioning that there was some issues getting them added, which was really rough, but would love to figure... It doesn't really matter, I feel, because how... Michigan is so good. Like, excuse me? Like, Short already makes this team really good. But what do you mean to tell me that Short is the 3rd best player on this team? Whooper goes Whoop from Arcterra, I think? Yeah, Arcterra. Are they playing with... Yeah, Arcadia Terra. They are getting an 8th, yeah. I remember seeing Short say something about getting an 8th. Was just wondering when they're going to get added or not, but they will be in. I'd be sad if they're not. I think. And then you have legitimate D1 player here. Maybe Fire Hydrant. Wait, is Fire Hydrant in D2 right now? Like in preliminary seedings? Hey Zay, how'd the war go? Yeah, I was gonna say minus 28 against the D1 team. Zay, just so I can get Fire Hydrant's D1 right now? Okay. Because I didn't look really much at the seeding, so I wasn't sure off the top of my head. Shout out to Zay in chat right now. Zay, how do you feel against Alabama if you were to play them round 1? Like, granted, there's some seedings that might change, and I feel like Alabama-Morgan could be interchangeable. Even Oklahoma, 4-5-6, I feel is really, really up in the air. Really interested to hear what the rest of the staff has to say. But like, I think it could be really interesting about what happens 4-5-6. Meanwhile, Michigan, assuming they gather, I think that's a good point. Zay, if Jay comes, Alabama probably wins. It depends on who the 6th player for Alabama is. If Alabama has a 6th. Because Alabama's biggest issue last season was gathering. If Alabama doesn't... Because Alabama, I think if Alabama gathered, they could have snagged that 3rd spot in playoffs last season in D2. So, unfortunate there, but things happen. It's just how it is. Michigan, yeah, Michigan beats Cincinnati or Tennessee, assuming they gather. Michigan in top 4, winner's side, that just makes sense to me. Let's give it to Morgan. I don't want to have to bank on Alabama gathering. But Michigan beats Morgan. Like, I don't think... I would say, yeah. I wish I was streaming at 11:30 tonight, but I'm probably not going to be up that late, sadly. We can do predictions with channel points. Yes, we will be doing predictions with channel points on the CKL stream, I guess. We'll just like have something like that. I'll bring back the shock spot thing and have like 4 matches going on at once. Except I don't think my computer can handle that, nor can my internet, so I probably won't do that. But if I had this capability, we would have like 4 streams going on at once for each match going on. That'd be insane. Yeah, okay, so it all comes down to, can Alabama get 9 for Sunday? Yeah, 9 for Sunday. Can they get 6 players for 9 p.m. on Sunday? That's the question. But yeah, I'll have Michigan in top 4. Let's have Morgan for consistency. UCLA. And trying to look at this bracket real quick just to. I like how we have all the rounds here. Like, that makes things so much easier. I had a question about the bracket. I'll ask that later. Okay, so let's say realistically, I think whoever loses this matchup wins anyway. They'll play the winner of the loser of UNI UCLA. I think UNI gets 7th. I have, you know what? Yeah. So I'm looking at, okay, bracket makes sense here. This makes sense. This makes sense. This also makes sense. That makes sense. This makes sense. I forget where I had my question, honestly. So winners finals is on the 21st. Losers finals is on the 4th, if I got that right. So wouldn't wouldn't grands be on the 4th then, technically? Like, the winner of winners finals, they have basically a 1-week bye into 2-4. Because I know you need to have the winner of the losers bracket, which is this, number 15, match 15, go up here. So yeah, I think this one would have to be like a 1-week bye, I think. That's the only thing I'm like looking at. Everything else makes sense, because I'm pretty sure that's how they do it in Frontier as well. That would mess everything up. That makes so much sense, yeah, because like losers match 1, yeah, would have be here. If it was here, it would have lined up perfectly. Makes sense. Tennessee has ruined everything, despite being one of the fastest teams to gather since Iona in the last 3 hours of the CKL first season. So, who knows? I wish we had like the projections here, because I can't accept predictions yet either. Hey Fitchy, quick remind me, when do signups end for Syllabus week? I know we pushed it back. So just remind me, when do the signups end? I must say it's like tomorrow at midnight EST or something like that. 12. Okay. Okay, Friday. Good to know. Oh dang, Friday's soon. 12. Did I pay my car? Yeah, I did. Okay, we're good. Okay. Actual bracket predictions now. So, midnight EST. Gotcha. Michigan beats whoever they play. They can make a top 4. Morgan State, I trust them to gather. That's probably the biggest scary thing. UCLA, I think Cairo is just too good. And this isn't my official prediction, but because they're in chats, and so we can get another Rumble mention, Oklahoma beats Peach State. Why not? We'll say it. Just because I think Spoon and a lot of the PSP players are going to be focused on Catalyst or recovering from Catalyst. So I think they're going to be having that moment there. If once that happens, and I'll trust them more so there. I trust them a lot to potentially win that match. Forgot to do double mention. And you know what? We're gonna keep this winners bracket going. Michigan moves on. And do we want to go crazy here? Are we going to go crazy here? You know what? Why not? Catalyst warms them up for the match. Yes. So Catalyst could warm them up for the match, so I think their lines are going to be really good. But because Catalyst is like, I know there's a 2v2, but like Catalyst is traditionally, but lands are traditionally FFA. So what if they just hit each other out and just TK all the time? You never know. Obviously, we're really reaching here, just so I could get Oklahoma the Cinderella run, and just so I could have some upset because I don't know if that'll happen or not. But what if Peach State just like TKs all the time? They just pull what team do I want to slander right here? They pull a Neko Knights and they just TK each other all the time. You never know. You never know. So, Oklahoma in semis against UCLA. And you know what? While Michigan, I think, beats Morgan State. Slander UA. I feel bad. Nah. If I'm gonna slander a team, I'm gonna slander a team that actually exists right now. So we'll do it. Let's go, Peach. Let's go. Oklahoma beats UCLA somehow. Why not? There's the difference right there. The difference, I think we all know what the difference is here. Why Oklahoma has a shot not only against Peach State, but against also UCLA. The Bruin bicyclists are going to leave with a flat tire. And do you want to know why? Do you want to know why Oklahoma has a chance right now? This guy right here. This is the reason. This is the reason right here, obviously. Exactly. Rumble is too OP. Like, Cairo has nothing against Rumble right here at this point. Like, look at this. Look at these. Look at that. Rumble is just going to make it happen. And yeah, I imagine that actually happens. But in all seriousness, UCLA is no, exactly, Zay. Oklahoma's biggest thing is that they have 6 players, though they have 8 players who can all go out there and play well. They don't necessarily have like a true superstar, unless you count Rumble, I guess. But they are going to be very good. Like, Oklahoma is a matchup nightmare for UCLA, because UCLA has Cairo and Joy. Cairo and Joy are insane, but what do you do against a team that's going to drop 80? Like, I remember looking at tables from Oklahoma last season where no one dropped below 80. You need a 494 to win, and if 6 players drop 80, yeah, 480 already. You only need like a little bit more and you have a win. Like, Oklahoma's playstyle can scrap out a win against some of the best teams if they are relying too much on the carry. What do you do if... No, ECRC, East Coast Racing Collegiate. But seriously, Oklahoma is scary for the fact that they have just insane depth. It's why they almost beat Iona. Like, there's no weak points in Oklahoma's defense. Oklahoma's offense, whatever we're calling it at this point. Oklahoma is just so good, like, no matter who you put out. And like Cairo can put up a 150, Joy can put up 100. But if Oklahoma beats them, if Oklahoma's 6 just nails down and shuts down the other 4 of UCLA or PSP, there's nothing really UCLA can do. Oklahoma, like, legitimately, Oklahoma, if this bracket holds, they have a chance in the winners finals. Like, if they pull it off, it'd be one of the best, like, yeah, that's the hard thing. Franken mentioned, like, broke into the chokehold on the mid pack. I remember watching Oklahoma's Wars a few times last season. Like, granted, like, for some reason, every time I watch them, they lose, which I feel really bad about personally. But Oklahoma is such a good team in, like, the middle spots. We had some 60s game 3, but you also were playing 3 wars straight. I think that's also a fatigue at that point coming out, which happens. A lot of pressure. But consider this. Oklahoma's playing against Peach State. Peach State, I think, might actually be a harder matchup for Oklahoma than UCLA. Because, like, UCLA is more new. I think Oklahoma's experience could actually win them out against UCLA. So, like, there is a world where Oklahoma, if seeds hold, which I don't know if they will with UCSD getting added, Oklahoma could somehow be in winners finals. And it'd be one of the craziest Cinderella runs ever. And it'd be the first major Cinderella run, I think, in CKL, which would be crazy. DM me the rule update. I think I know what you mean. Which is why I kind of put it in the All Star Game slightly about the why you can't do it across all 24 races. But DM me just to be safe, so I don't say the wrong thing. That is so crazy that Franken's point is, like, so true. If Cairo drops less than 140, Oklahoma could beat UCLA. I hate how that's a true fact. But it's possible. It's possible. We could live in a world where Oklahoma is in guaranteed top 3 overall. And, like, it's crazy. Like, Oklahoma, I think, is a really good team going into the spring season. So they're very scary. One thing I will also mention is that this is not only a subject to change because of UCSD, Iona is trying to get a team as well, and that's the scary thing. So if Iona is here, then seedings are all over the place. Because I would probably put Iona... You could argue, like, the thing is, you could argue Oklahoma over both Alabama and Morgan. And you could do the same for Iona. But I think Morgan, Alabama, Iona, Oklahoma are all really close together. So it really comes down to, like, what do you prefer here? Do you like the hard carry that Morgan has with Isaiah, this absolute star power? Do you pick Solution and potentially Jay, being arguably the strongest 2-punch combo? Do you pick Iona, who has, like, one of the strongest cores I've ever seen within that lineup? Or do you go Oklahoma, who has probably the craziest depth out of almost any team in CKL? I'm surprised you're not event staff already, just for the CKL stuff. Like, it would make things so much easier so I could look at who's on UCSD's roster. 2 games be approved? Who's the second one? Is it... I know UCSD, and is it also Iona, or is it someone else? Oh, UAH. Oh, that's big. Who do you consider to be your core? Give me a second real quick, because I'm blanking on the names, but I know exactly who I have in my mind. If my computer would load, that would help. Like, I actually think my computer might just freeze. That's just a bit scary, but we hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, I'm gonna have a quick look at the... I had the rock thing pulled up. Let me pull it up real quick on my phone. Okay, so the core I usually would have for Iona was like Franken, Goji. I usually put Cedo, and then like sometimes Fire, sometimes Gold AJ. It was mostly, yeah, it was hard because like figuring out a core for you guys is like really difficult because similar to Oklahoma, you have like a lot of good players at like any given point. But I remember seeing players like Cedo go off, seeing Fire and Gold AJ go off. Maybe it's really hard, honestly. Yoshi as well. Yeah, Yoshi, Fire, Cedo, along with Franken and Goji. Like, it's a scary lineup that Iona could put out like each week as well, because they would always like, yeah, 4 to 5 amazing players, similar to Oklahoma. Like, really, there's no weak points with a lot of these teams. Like, it's crazy. I gotta predict losers bracket as well. Give me a sec. Okay, so Peach State. If we're rolling with the Oklahoma Miracle Run, Peach State beats Cincinnati or Tennessee. Doesn't matter who. Similar over here, where I think Alabama or Morgan. Probably Alabama beats Tennessee or Cincinnati. So now it's loser of 3. UNI against... Oh, dang, that's a rough bracket if that happens. Oh, man. If UNI Peach State beats UNI. Peach State against number 10. Oh, my God. Peach State against Morgan. I'll give it to Peach State, but that could be close. Loser of 9, and then... Alabama and UCLA. Ooh, okay. If that happens, it's UCLA, and then it's Peach State, UCLA here. Okay, so the crazy thing I'm looking at right now is, do I legitimately believe that Oklahoma is the second best team in the country at this rate? I'm like looking at this bracket right now. Not a bad idea, Fetchy, in the DMs. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so. So I guess, looking at this bracket, my things for the takeaways, assuming this is... It's not going to be the finals. It's not going to be a finalized bracket yet. So we're still a few teams we're waiting on. Waiting on UAH. We're waiting on potentially Iona. Waiting on UCSD. So Cal San Diego. Which takes us to 12 teams. But if, depending on how the bracket shakes up, I think the key takeaways are this. Michigan most likely wins unless they run into gathering issues. You have Crow. You have Whooper goes Whoop. You got Short. That top 3 is just horrifying for like any team, any college team out there. So I think Michigan wins, no matter who they go up against. I think Oklahoma is going to be in for a really deep run. maybe they don't get all the way to winners finals. But like looking at the bracket, in the losers, I think they beat UNI if they play them. I think they beat Alabama and Morgan. Like Oklahoma, I think there's just that kind of consistency where yes, they do, as we mentioned before, they don't have that carry, that like hard carry. But Oklahoma is just like so good top to bottom. I think Oklahoma could finish no lower than fourth. There's a depending on how the bracket shakes up, obviously with more teams being added, I think Oklahoma legitimately could get like fourth overall and have this insane projection for seeding. Now Oklahoma with the legit like first option is a top 3 in the country. Yeah, like, can you imagine? Like, let's say a transfer portal actually opens up. Oklahoma signs some like crazy player who's like legitimately available to like play at Oklahoma. Like that would be insane. Hold up, let me do something real quick. Oh my god, no. 6 and Fitchy going to OU? Could you imagine? You got Mogi time? Yeah, good luck in that, by the way. Have fun with the Mogi. Good luck to Team Bo, I guess, for having a Mogi soon. Good luck to you guys. Meanwhile, while that happens, obviously, for those who don't know, I'm looking for a PhD program in the future, and I guess Oklahoma has my PhD program. Do I? If I apply for like in fall of 2025, so I look into this and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna transfer to Oklahoma. Boom. I'm not exactly adding on to the whole like they need a number 1 option, but yeah, maybe I can be convinced to transfer to Oklahoma. I am not exactly the thing they're looking for, a natty contender. Yeah. But yeah, this whole bracket for Syllabus Week is really hard to predict right now. Because I think the first thing first is that Michigan's number 1. I think Peach State and UCLA are kind of interchangeable. This entire team is here for 24th. I remember that in your interview, in the OUA interview. There's no seniors on it. That's gonna be scary next season, next few years. Oklahoma could legitimately turn into a powerhouse. So that's gonna be crazy. Yeah, potentially really crazy stuff there. So you never know. You never know. Most of Iona's young also. Okay, so what I'm hearing is Iona, Oklahoma is just going to be finals in whatever division it is for the next 3 years. This is basically like, what was it? Warriors, Cavs. We're just going to have that, but it's Iona, Oklahoma. True. I'll come up in Mario Kart and the NBA. Yeah, I think Iona Oklahoma is going to be like some of the best matches we will see in the future seasons. I'm excited to see that. But if it isn't already, no, Iona Oklahoma is already like some of my favorite matches to watch. Like, I think there's so much storyline there, so much history already, and it's only been like 1 semester, but it's only going to get better, which is the best thing about it. Who knows? We'll get to that point eventually. Well, but
It's Lakers Celtics pretty much. It's the CKL Lakers Celtics at this point. Especially because you guys are probably the teams that are run some of the best as well. I think it'll be really good to see you guys in the next few years. Have a great foundation, and like other teams aren't making it this far, but you never know. Never know. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap up stream soon, so let's just give some quick takeaways here. Yeah, we said Michigan #1. I think UCLA, Peach State are interchangeable. You could swap them around. The same thing with Morgan, Alabama, Oklahoma, Iona, maybe UCSD. I have to look at the UCSD roster, but UCSD is either probably above those teams just slightly, or they're in that same tier. I think UAH, UNI is just right under the Oklahoma, Bama, Iona, Morgan tier. And then Cincinnati, Tennessee, there's just not enough we know about them yet. So I think those are probably the bottom two teams, but they could be good. If it turns out after this scrim against Morgan that Tennessee is like a scary powerhouse that we had no idea about, then we're in for an amazing season. And like there's some programs out there. There are some other colleges out there in the US, maybe even Canada too, that are good, and we have no idea that they even have a Mario Kart team, or maybe they don't know about CKL yet. I'm waiting for Maryland to come up. I'm waiting for Maryland to finally take a step into CKL, maybe MDV, ECRC, and show up and show out. I'm waiting for Purdue to finally make that team happen. Waiting for Penn State to make it work as well, because Penn State is the national champion of Splatoon. So you never know. Emerson has a Mario Kart team? Really? What? I had no idea Emerson College had a Mario Kart team. Where are they? Why are they not here? If you could get me their contact info like ASAP, I'll talk to them if I can at some point, because that's crazy. So I gotta see. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Emerson. Yeah. So, yeah. Homework, I guess, for CKL 101. 1, get more schools in. 2, if you haven't signed up for Syllabus Week and you're looking to it, do it. We will never... Oh, yeah. Boopy and Fate are busy as heck, because I know Fate retired. But could you imagine? If Maryland is a legitimate national title contender, if they were able to play. It's a shame, but alas, things happen. Okay, I think that's gonna wrap up stream for today. So let's just assign homework. Also, I was talking to Isaiah about this at some point last week. If you have clips, like highlights or even like lowlights, I guess the DK Summit clip was hilarious. If you have clips you want to be like featured on stream, whether that be in the intro that's happened at the beginning, or at some point we're going to be doing like a little rate to clip session. We give them like a little grade, make it like the slam dunk contest where like you show show a clip on stream, chat and I will just hold up numbers like that's a 10 over, that's a 10, stuff like that, and we get that like crazy reactions. I would love to do like clip shows type like thing, clip contest, just to feature some more like CKL plays, some ECRC plays, get those college players some showcases there. So really happy to have that potentially. So, but until then, just keep coming with content. If you have anything you want to add, or if you want to be reached out to for a potential interview in the future, hit me up. It'll be at the same time as Wednesdays, 8 o'clock-ish. Why we didn't just get top 6? Oh my god. Yeah, send that to me when you can say. But yeah, also gonna be looking to interview people Wednesday nights or Wednesday evenings. It'll be like 8 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. Pacific, stuff like that. So, but until then, that's gonna be it for here tonight for CK 101. My name's Spicy, and that's gonna be it for tonight, guys. Thank you guys for watching.